It's like high tech and stuff in here.
It is, isn't it?
Yeah.
It's like a real studio, dude. It's like a real frickin' studio. Law-abiding biker podcast.
Welcome to the Law-Abiding Biker Podcast, and it's the best podcast because it's my daddy's podcast.
Oh, yeah. Oscar in the house.
That's what I'm talking about.
Yo. Welcome back, you freaking bikeaholics. This is the podcast for the big MM, the motorcycle majority.
The 99%.
You heard it, Oscar. The 99%. That's right. So I got to ask you, bikeaholics, what are you waiting for? Mount up. Let us take you on a ride. Welcome back, everybody. You should be riding. If you're not, you should be thinking about riding. And if you're not thinking about riding,
You should be listening to us.
yes, and we're here to help.
That's what I'm talking about.
And you should be listening to us. Both. Yes. All right.
And you can listen to us while you ride.
There you go. Exactly. All right, guys, welcome back. We are back in the studio here. It is me and Oscar in the house. Now, we were talking just a little bit before we got going here. Now, most people they're an audio snob, so to speak. So I have been working on audio, and we've got new equipment. You guys, I'm not going to bore you with it, but I just want to say I was not happy with the audio on the last episode. So if you're one of those people that really notices it, which I assume 99.9% didn't, we are trying to dial things in as I got better equipment. And we just, like I always say, we just want to keep progressing and bringing you guys new and improved content and just ramping it up. And so I do apologize if you're one of those people that heard a difference in the last episode, but it still wasn't like so bad that it shouldn't have got put out or anything. It's just, like I said, I noticed these little things because I'm kind of anal that way.
Kind of. Or a lot. Or, okay, just say it, a lot. That's fine.
All right. I am anal about that stuff.
And that's what keeps the quality content here.
There you go. Thank you, Oscar.
Because I'm not. And
Wait, you sound awfully good tonight. We got a new setup for you a little bit. So, and I did some different levels. So you're sounding awfully good tonight.
That's a compliment I've never actually gotten before.
Well, right here, buddy.
That's what that definitely it goes right to the heart of my ego.
So good to have you in the studio, buddy. Thank you so much for coming over. I know the law-abiding biker community likes it when you're in here because I get emails quite often, and you are quite a techie guy when it comes to motorcycles. So in fact, sometimes I have to forward the emails to you to get your input. So thank you for that. And of course, that's all free of charge.
I'm just happy to be here.
Great. All right, guys. So new affiliate. I worked hard at this, guys. I'm not going to tell you the story right now, but hopefully in time, we'll tell you a little story on this. But anyways, I do have a new affiliate, and I'd really appreciate it if you guys would use it. No cost to you, of course. Just if you do go to them, we get a small kickback in return, and that is B&H Photo Video. And if you look that up on the internet, it's B&H Photo, and they'll come up like number one in Google rankings. But the reason I went after them, guys, I will tell you, they sell a ton of techie stuff, anything for cameras and computer stuff and audio stuff. If you're into photography and video and you name it, they are huge. The way I found out about them is I started buying a lot of stuff through them as we're upgrading the studio here. And I was very impressed because I could oftentimes find better prices than Amazon, and you don't pay tax where we're at. We don't have to pay tax. Amazon charges you tax, and they're super fast shipping. And I've never had a damage. It just awesome, guys. And I'm not just saying that. So I went after them and actually got denied the first time. And so now they're on board with us. And so if you just go to lawabidingbiker.com/B&H, B as in boy, spell out and then H. And if you go through that link and you can purchase something, if you decide to purchase something techie, and there you go. We get a small commission in return, and we thank you. Real quick, guys, if you do ever want to help us, you can always go to our affiliate links. We have a whole page of banners. If you don't remember the specific URL that I told you, we have banners and stuff, and you can certainly just click on any of those banners. I think that's lawabidingbiker.com/affiliate links, I think. But anyways, if you just go to the menu, you'll see it there. All right. You ever use them, Oscar? It's probably you don't buy a lot of techie stuff. Camera, you into photography, anything like that?
I think you just answered the question that you asked me for me.
Right. So
I don't.
Yeah.
And I'm not. See, you're the high tech redneck, and I'm the no tech redneck, and
you're the high tech redneck, just in a different way on motors and stuff.
Yeah, that's
right.
Different.
So there you go, guys. B&H Photo Video Affiliate. Anything you guys can help us with clicking through on those banners. Like I say, it does not cost you an extra dime. Just helps us as we keep moving forward with this thing and trying to pay the bills.
Well, for the listening audience, it's gotten much fancier in here.
Yes.
In fact, I look around and I have no idea what I'm looking at, which must mean that it's nice equipment.
Right. What Oscar said, it's nice equipment.
You have nice equipment.
That's what I love, dude. Now, we do have an Amazon affiliate too, guys, and we have a little story about this. Nope, we don't. I was moving ahead there. But of course, lawabidingbiker.com, Amazon. If you're ever going to order anything through Amazon, just go through that. And like I say, we get the small commission. We have a ton others too. I'm not going to mention them all. I just like to mention a couple up front here. What have you been up to, Oscar? People want to know about you.
Just riding and working. And mostly riding.
We went on a little jaunt yesterday. Talk about that.
Wow.
Got in late.
Yeah. What did we leave at 7 yesterday morning? And we got back, I think I got to bed at midnight. 12:30 or 00:30 for you on the 24-hour clock.
Right.
What I did, you guys did a little bit more than I did because I was home first, but just a little bit over 600 miles. That's crazy. You people are crazy for day rides at 600 miles.
650 for me.
That's insane. Who does that?
We went to, we left the straight here from Yakima, Washington. We left to Baker City, Oregon, did a loop, ended up in Pendleton, Oregon, rode a pass up there. But yeah.
We got sunburnt. We got rained on. No hail. No freezing temps.
Yeah, we did get rained on. Crazy weather around here, but we weren't even sure if we're going to be able to sit down and do the podcast because crazy windstorms and stuff around here. We thought it might shut everything down. Power and stuff.
It's supposed to get worse. We could lose power.
Well,
that'd be kind of cool though.
We'd have to just, like I told Oscar, if we lose power, we're going to do an episode anyways. We were just going to do it old school and set my fancy recorder in between both of us with batteries and do it in the dark. Maybe some candlelight.
Maybe you can rephrase that again for the listening audience.
No, I said candlelight, dude.
You said do it in the dark.
Well, I know, with candlelight on top of it.
And then we're opening the curtains.
I see the look in your eye.
Would you care if we were in the dark and I played this song?
It's definitely set the mood.
Here we go. Oh, yeah.
And I need you now tonight.
Oh, Oscar. Anyways, a little humor, but so yeah, we hopefully won't have to do that, and we can just do it with the fancy equipment here. We got quite a show for you guys here. Let me go through it a little bit. What's going on here, and actually, we probably won't get through everything like usual, but we're going to try to pump through as much as we can, guys. Up front, we've got a voicemail for you guys, and in fact, what it's reference to. What is it reference to? Power Commander 5 voicemail has a question about that. We're going to talk about some of the new videos we're working on. Speaking of the new equipment we have, guys, and I know that things, hopefully you will notice in the new videos, just the stellar quality in them. New cameras and stuff. We're really trying to make everything in high definition. Before we were doing it with what I had around, and now I'm able to put some money back in to Lab Media here and bring you guys just those really poppin' high definition videos, learning a lot of new techniques on this stuff, some new editing techniques and whatnot. So,
well, and as we shoot the videos, the more we do, I think the better they're getting.
Yes.
Just by the fact that we're shooting more videos and learning about the different shots and lighting, and yeah, that's cool.
I agree.
A lot of time goes into that.
Because now, when we first started, it was just me with sometimes with my iPhone, just in my hand. We were making the best we could. I couldn't afford nothing. I still can't, but every bit pretty much been dumped back into this little venture. But you notice now, it's like a more of a professional video shoot. There's lights and there's light stands and tripods. And I will say thank you very much, Oscar, for hanging, because it definitely takes longer now, doesn't it?
Mm-hmm.
Because I have specific shots and cuts that I want. I've got to set up focuses and I've got to get the right shot and the lighting. I got to move lights around. And so it can turn a brake job into what should be an hour project into a 4 or 5 hour project. Yeah. And thank God for these guys, because they do this for free and they put up with me with my directing type stuff. Yeah,
it's not bad.
No, I know, but
it takes a while sometimes, but that's all right.
We drink beer more.
We do.
We have to kill some time. And so we're going to talk a little bit about some of those videos and what goes into those guys. And then we got some donations. We are going to talk about tiered motorcycle licensing. You'll definitely want to stay tuned for that. Probably be the main topic. We've got some emails and a couple web comments and a YouTube comment that we'll get to. So first of all, let's just start out right here. We got a voicemail again. Do you remember the number there, Oscar, if people want to call into the listener hotline?
You're going to put it up there for me, aren't you?
It's already up there.
Excuse me?
It's already up there, brother. Oh, no, it's not.
You're killing me.
Oh, I
right
love
now.
it, dude. I'm on the wrong computer because I had to have the voicemail up on my laptop.
I had the eye surgery. It's supposed to make it better. And then I thought,
I love it. Oscar's up on this one. So there you go.
There it is. You're talking about the 509-731-3548.
There you go. It's getting used, guys, and we appreciate it. Of course, you can leave a voicemail, lawabidingbiker.com/voicemail right from your computer. Let's hit up this little voicemail here and see. Why don't you open it up and do we have a name or anything there?
Yeah, you want me to read it?
Yeah, go ahead. Or basically what it's about. We'll give our listeners a little bit about what it's about.
This is Josh. Via the listener line, Josh is serving in the armed forces. Josh, thanks for your service. We appreciate it. Wouldn't be free without you.
Amen to that.
Josh may be stationed at sea level for 2 years and then at 5,000 feet above sea level. He listened to our EFI podcast number 34, which is lawabidingbiker.com/auto tuner. Josh wants to know if a PC5, Power Commander 5, and auto tuner would be the best choice for his situation.
All right. So here we go. Let's see what Josh has to say. And we thank you very much, Josh, for actually calling in. We get a lot of emails, but I will tell you that, of course, I've always said the voicemails take precedence. So when we get voicemails, they tend to bump the, what did I say? Yeah, the voicemails bump the email. So here we go.
Hey, what's going on, guys? My name's Josh. I'm active duty military. Just listened to your EFI tuner podcast, and quick yes or no on if it's a good idea probably to do the auto tune with the Power Commander 5, because I could be stationed at sea level for 1 year or 2 years and then be up at 5,000 feet above sea level, and I think that would just make it easier. The common sense in me says yes. Wonder what you guys think.
There you go, Oscar. Why don't you take it away with that?
I think Josh's common sense rules today, because that's exactly what the auto tuner with the O2 sensors is for.
Okay. Do you want to go into that a little bit more? Would it be beneficial? What if he just went and got a map at Harley Davidson?
It would be fine. He shouldn't have any problems. I mean, when you get to 5,000, 6,000, 7,000 feet, the air's a little bit thinner and it'll trim out the fuel a little bit. So it dumps less fuel into the intake. So you'll get really good gas mileage. I rode a couple years ago in the Sierra Nevadas and we were regularly riding at 6,000 feet and I was getting awesome gas mileage, but you'll suffer with power a little bit. So the whole point of the auto tuner with the O2 sensors is for it to pick up on the fact that there's less fuel and make those adjustments, that there's less air and there's less fuel, can dump more fuel in, take more fuel out. So, I mean, the auto tuner in theory and practice is ideal for everyone because it adjusts, it helps the bike adjust to the different elevations, different times of year when it's colder, hotter. So yeah, I think that'd work great for him. If he just wanted to run a straight Power Commander, he might notice a little difference. You get a little more power at sea level, a little better gas mileage at the higher elevations. I mean, it'll run just fine, but the auto tuner will help it out and make it run just a little bit better.
The nice thing for him, though, correct me if I'm wrong, is that he might get stationed in one place and then have to move to another place 5,000 feet different in elevation. And with the auto tuner, he can certainly make those adjustments, right? On his own.
He doesn't have to do anything. I mean, the bike is still reading.
Right.
Yeah,
my bad.
The bike's reading what's coming in anyway, but the auto tuner gives it that edge to read what's going out so that it knows that what's going in and what's going out matches, which makes it ideal versus just good. So even if he just had the Power Commander 5 and went from sea level, and then the next year he was stationed somewhere in the Sierra Nevadas, it would be fine.
All right.
But the auto tuner will make it better. So absolutely. I think your reasoning is correct, Josh. If you can, if you got the money for it, I would add the auto tuner to it.
And you guys, we're just going to throw out, we do have 2 videos on that. And that is before you do the auto tuner, you got to have the PC5, right?
Yes.
So we've got 2 videos on that, and that's lawabidingbiker.com/power commander and the number 5. And then of course our video on the auto tuner is lawabidingbiker.com/auto tuner. Very, popular videos for those 2 devices, and you'll certainly be able to get hooked up with those. And I think he said he was going to get them. He just wanted to make sure with us first if that's the way he should go. So there you go.
I was going to actually make a recommendation.
Please do.
A company to buy the PC5 and the auto tuner from. And I got yeah, it was a good time.
Good call. Yeah, absolutely. You just rang a bell, so I was like, yeah, good idea.
Yeah.
Good idea.
I got this company. They're called Fuel Moto. FUELMOTO. They're on the web. You Google Fuel Moto, they'll show up. And I heard about them from a friend. I read about them on some of the blogs. They get outstanding reviews. One of the cool things, the reason I bought the Power Commander 5, well, there's a couple reasons, and the auto tuner from them. One, they'll add an additional year warranty. I'm pretty sure they're still doing that. They did that when I bought it a year ago. They'll add an additional year warranty to the Power Commander. And if you buy the Power Commander from them and you save your receipt, they'll have a receipt number on there. They call it a customer number. They will load a map for you and send it to you plug and play. And then, so say Josh has this bike and he decides he's going to do cams. He can email, or they have a page set up for this. So he can email Fuel Moto and say, hey, here's my customer number. I've got 2013 Road King with intake, and I bought the D&D Fat Cat exhaust. So with the Fuel Moto intake, the D&D Fat Cat exhaust, and I'm going to do the whatever cam. I'm going to do the Woods 222 cam. They will take from there, because they're a dyno tune facility, and they're a dyno jet facility. So they have a dyno jet tech there that works on the Power Commanders. They'll actually take from a map from bikes they've dyno tuned that matches that combination and send it to Josh. And all he has to do is take the attachment, save it to his computer, open it up in the Power Commander, and install the map. And good to go. And they will do that for the life of that you own the Power Commander, if you buy it from them. And their tech support is awesome. I've called them on 3 or 4 occasions. I have a buddy that I said, hey, buy your Power Commander from Fuel Moto. He bought it. Something happened to the Power Commander. They shipped him a new one before he sent his back, and they shipped him new maps. He's been on the phone with them having kind of some problems, and it's just a great company. They're great guys. Dyno Jet's a great company. I've called them on a few occasions. But Fuel Moto is just I've had nothing but good experiences, and I bought all the stuff for my bike so far I bought from Fuel Moto. So I really, when I find a company that I really like, I try to promote as much as I can, because there's a lot of crappy companies out there.
Yes.
And these guys they have their own build kits. I mean, they're a legitimate bike shop. They do their own machining. They make heads. They make cylinder piston kits. I mean, it's the full meal deal. So it's not some guy in his garage just selling parts, or some guy who read a few web articles. These guys are actually doing it. They're dyno tuning bikes. You can get on their webpage. They'll show you dyno sheets. They've got a running blog with the bikes that they build and what they do and how much torque and horsepower. So top-notch company. So Josh, my recommendation is to give them a call and say, hey, and if you guys are going to buy from them, at least mention that you heard their name from us. Hey, we heard from the Law Abiding Biker website or from the podcast that this is a great company. So Fuel Moto guys, they're on the web. And if you happen to call them, the customer service is great. Tech support's great. Let them know you heard it from the Lab podcast.
Very nice. Thank you. That's what I love having you in here, Oscar. Wealth of knowledge. There you go, guys. I will tell you that Oscar's absolutely right. Let these people know anything you buy that you hear here, it can really help us out, guys. Now, I will tell you, Fuel Moto. We have had good luck with them, and they are very professional. I will tell you that we did ask them, but it's been quite a while ago, and they were very nice about it, but they have not sponsored this show yet, and I believe one or two of them listened to it. So we're throwing out there, guys, you to the audience. You can really help us. Some of these companies put a little heat on them and say, hey, these guys are talking good about your stuff for free, and I've bought it, and I know that this podcast, because I get emails, we've sold a ton of stuff for these companies. We're not doing it because obviously we have failed to mention Fuel Moto for quite some time, haven't we, Oscar?
Yeah, we have.
And we did that because, we just think, sometimes these companies just sponsor us a little bit, and we're not looking to get, rich here. We just want a little bit of kickback. We put a ton of time into this. But we decided tonight we're going to go ahead and hope they step up to the plate, and Fuel Moto realizing that we plug a lot of their stuff because we do believe in it. And same with DynoJet. They're just such a huge company. I don't think they realize how many thousands and thousands and thousands of listeners, and this thing keeps growing. It's huge. I don't think they really realize how many people are out there listening. And so when you guys purchase stuff like this, we do ask you, please mention us and tell them that they should be sponsoring us and expect it of them, because we give these companies a lot of money. And so we're just hoping they would give a kickback and support us for making some extra sales for them. So, all right, enough of that noise. Anything else on that question? You think it's been asked and answered, Oscar?
Asked and answered.
All right. So we're going to talk a little bit about working on these new videos. We told you guys a little bit about the new equipment. Let's go ahead and let's dive into the email bag a little bit, and it'll kind of be a segue right into one of our topics here. Why don't you hit the free email or the first email up there, Oscar?
This is from Jim Tucker, Kelso, Washington. He's on the wet side of the state.
Hey, in Washington State. Awesome, Jim.
Thanks for the email, Jim. We appreciate it. Jim says, hey, Ryan, found Lab on YouTube and learned a lot from watching the maintenance video. I recently picked up my first Harley, a 2010 Wide Glide, and we'll be bonding with it via wrench time in addition to riding. I don't know how to report the little smiley face.
Just report it. You just did.
Oh, yeah.
Good job, dude.
All on my very own.
Right.
I might be low tech now. Made a small donation to Lab. Thanks for the donation. Jim, pick us from the last weekend's trip through Southwest Oregon. This is at Port Orford. Thanks again. Much respect. You want me to read your response? Right. That's a good spot for you to read.
Yeah. Well, here's one of my responses. And I said, thanks for the feedback and for sharing that photo, bro. Sitting in and this is a funny little story. I get, guys, I spend on my days off from my paying job. I've told you guys before, upwards of 14 hours a day, and Oscar and them know that. Once in a while, of course, writing takes precedence, so I do get out for that. But I was sitting in the studio working, and it was about 14-hour day that day, and that email popped up, and it was kind of put a smile on my face. So to mingle with the law-abiding biker community, and I've always told you guys that I really like hearing from you guys and really do care what's going on out there. So took me away for a moment, and thank you for that, Jim Tucker, and he knows because I responded. But it does help me keep the content. It gives me some motivation to keep going with this stuff, guys. When you're really, really tired and you're thinking, screw it, keep going with it. Keep pushing forward, because I know it's growing and it's going to be successful. So I promise that the donation will be put to good use, of course, guys, and it has, as you can see, putting money back into this thing. And just know that there are, guys, as well as I do, tons of free videos out there. In fact, at this point, 90+% of our content is free, including videos. We sell a very small amount. We should sell more, but it's always hard for me to make that decision, huh, Oscar?
Yeah.
Because you've always asked me, you're like, you're going to sell this one, or you're going to give it for free? I'm like, geez.
This should be for free. This should be for free. I think all of it should be for free. It takes a lot of time, though.
Yes.
And there's a lot of work, and I sweated a lot on the last one.
Was like 108 degrees that day, guys. Now, I don't have a fancy big garage. I have it's a garage. It's an attached garage. That's where we do all these photo and video shoots. For the most part, we have done some in Oscar's. It's not air conditioning. It's not some huge professional shop. It's my garage, and it is 108 degrees.
Because you know what? That's where most of us do our wrenching.
True.
We don't have a shop with all the fancy tools and the lift. We cobble some stuff together. We move the wife's car out of the way, and we pull the bike in. We we work on them in the hot garage.
Yes. So, very cool bike he showed me. He had a wide glide. I can't think of what year. Oh, he just 2010.
Yeah.
So there you go. I used to have a 2005 wide glide. Awesome bike for you out there that have wide glides. Love them. I wished I could have kept it because I tricked it out. And Lurch used to have a 2006 wide glide. We used to ride them together.
How did your stumpy little arms reach those handlebars?
I look like a I look like a piece of, I don't know what a monkey flying behind the handlebars, dude. Because they were 16s. They were 16s.
Only what? 4 or 5?
Oh, geez, Louise. Okay, enough of that. But yeah, love the wide glide and would have kept it. Just I cannot take it like yesterday on a 650-mile day.
No way.
It's hard enough on a street glide. So, but if I would have had the money, of course, I would have loved to keep that for the shorter rides. But we do have the new equipment, guys. Hopefully you'll notice the true high definition in them, and they're better edited. Of course, all this takes longer. It takes longer to shoot them, takes longer to edit them, all that kind of stuff. But just know, you that have donated and, got on our Patreon page, all that kind of stuff. We do need AC in the shop. So what I'm thinking about doing, Oscar, I think I talked to you about this, is my actual furnace and, AC and all that. Of course, it's an AC pump outside, but it all goes through the main, I'm not a
HVAC guy.
There you go. That's what I was looking for. I'm not an HVAC guy, so I don't know much about it, that particular stuff, but hopefully we can cut right into that.
Let me give the tip.
Please.
Because I've told people this.
I need to do it. Oh, you did it. That's right.
Yeah. I told the guy the other day, this guy's a house builder and he has a garage like ours and it was real hot. And I says, hey, so for all y'all out there, and it's not too hard to figure out, if you have a return air duct that runs through your garage, so essentially, after the air goes through the filter, it circulates through the house and it runs probably underneath your house, depending on what kind of house you have.
Yes,
and
mine
then
does.
Up through the return air to the furnace, and then it's pushed out through the vents. Well, that air that is running through the return duct, which mine is in my garage, is heated or cooled because it's getting sucked up through from the house. And so my neighbor actually did it. A real close buddy of mine did HVAC, and he did it for my neighbor's house, actually his mom's house. And so it's great. You just cut a little register hole, just like what's in your floor or your ceiling. You stuff it in there.
Little vent.
Just a little vent. Yeah. And, cost me $5. He came over. Actually, I could have done it myself. I didn't really know, but he came over. We just cut the tin out and screwed it in, and it provides AC or heating just like the rest of your house. And thus far, I've had it in there for like 3 years. Doesn't seem to affect anything else with my heating or air. It just, because it's return air. So it's just blowing cold air. So today, was nice.
So it's the return air.
It's the return.
You put it on. I heard you, but I didn't hear you.
Yeah.
Oh, so I was thinking you did it as soon as the AC goes out. But no, you're just
it's return air.
Hey, it's return air, but it's cooler than the shop air.
It's fully cool because
it's return air.
It's being sucked from the house up through the air filter and then around and then up eventually to the furnace.
Gotcha.
I think that's how that works. So maybe if there's an HVAC guy out there, maybe I got it wrong. But either way, it's the return air and it's the same temperature as what the house is. So when your AC kicks on, it's great. My garage stays, we get down here 0, sometimes 10 below. My garage stays in the 60s. And in the summertime, my garage will stay in the low 80s to the mid 70s, depending on the outside temperature. So it is fantastic.
We got to do that. That 108 degrees was absolutely ridiculous.
Yeah.
I'm not kidding, guys. We were drenched. You won't notice it in the video because I tried to, not show that part of it. But oh my God, we were miserable. I crashed face first in the couch when we got done with that video shoot.
I tried to be shirtless, because it's cooler, but
mostly all I show is your hands anyways.
The host wouldn't let me be shirtless.
Actually, that's premium content, guys. If you
that's the $15 video.
We're going to send that as premium content. You can only get it, and probably not something you want to see. But anyway,
you'll be disappointed when you buy it and go.
Better than seeing me, I'll tell you that. Thanks, Jim Tucker of Kelso, Washington. Really appreciate you sending that in and the pic and all that. So let's move on. And if you guys want to donate and help us keep moving forward, lawabidingbiker.com/donate. Don't forget about the Patreon page. We've got 4 people there signed up. And do you want to, we had a couple others sign up on the Patreon page that haven't been mentioned on a podcast. So at this time, we would like to mention them. And that is John Patton of Bragg Creek, Alberta. Jeez.
Alabama, Canada.
Yeah, Alabama, Canada. No. Alberta, Canada. John Patton, thank you so much. And Brad Jaffe So what is the Patreon page, guys, real quick, for you guys new listeners, because we do get new listeners every episode. Patreon is a very simple way where you can go over and you can go to lawabidingbikers.com/Patreon, Patreon, and we've got 4 or 5 people signed up. Thank you to those that are signed up. If you don't want to donate every month, or donate at all, I guess, it's a way you can pledge a certain amount, and it's easy because it's automatically taken out. And I think a lot of people want to donate, but you forget about it. I get it. We all get busy. But there's a way you can do all the way to $1 per piece of content. We put about 4 podcasts and 1 video a month out. So you're, $4, $5 a month for all this content. And no risk. You can put a cap on it. So if we put out 50 all of a sudden, you say, I'm only willing to pay for 5 pieces of content a month. Well, you're still only $5 in. Absolutely no risk. Really, we would like to move people over there. We do appreciate the donations. Of course, we're always going to take those, but it is a way that can be a steady stream for us. And again, for the free content, the videos and all that, we think it's well worth it for $4 or $5 a month for all you get. So, and that way you can assure it's going to keep coming your way. Why don't you move into donations and thank a couple people for donations, buddy?
John Patton, Bragg Creek, Alberta, Canada.
Look at that.
John made a substantial donation.
And he's also on Patreon.
John,
that is awesome.
We appreciate it, man. Yeah, we appreciate it.
He's given both ways, donating and he got on Patreon. I mean, that is awesome, man.
Richard LaMonica of Fairfield, New Jersey. Thanks for the donation, Richard. We appreciate it. And Jim Tucker of Kelso, Washington. We just mentioned Jim's email. Thanks for the donation, Jim. We appreciate it.
Thanks, guys. And if you, of course, want to donate, lawabidingbikers.com/donate. And of course, we'd like to get you over on the Patreon thing there. So let's move into tiered motorcycle licensing issues. What do you know about this, dude? Do you remember this back when this was valid in Washington? You were riding then, right? Were you riding when tiered motorcycle was going on?
Was that, no.
Okay.
I got nothing.
Well, I think I don't know when you got your first bike, but
I got
tiered licensing is that, so basically, guys, the way it used to go is back in the day here in Washington State and other states have been, following suit, and they are trying to, I'm trying to pull this article up, but I may have to do that in a second.
I remember now. Yeah.
So basically what tiered licensing is so here in Washington State, it was anything 250, remind me if I'm wrong.
Was it 0 to 250?
We're going to make this up, guys, because it's been quite a few years. In fact, I don't remember when it was, but in high school, I had my first motorcycle.
Yeah.
I had a sports bike. And when I was a senior in high school, and let me tell you, kids, that was a long time ago. We won't say what year that was, but
the year of our Lord, 1832.
Right. Yes. And there was tiered licensing. So if you had, basically what it was split up by classification. So you could get a license for 0 to 250cc, 250 to 500, and then anything over 500. And I don't know if those are exact, guys. It really doesn't matter. It was in the past.
Like that, right.
And so you could basically, take your 250 in there and get your license for a 250 or below, but you couldn't ride any other motorcycle because you were only licensed, tiered licensing. You were only licensed to the 250. Now, if you got the and of course, each one was a little more expensive. And we never understood why they did this.
It doesn't make any sense.
It's just they did it.
It's got 2 wheels. 2 wheels are 2 wheels.
Right, exactly. And even back then, I never even questioned it. I thought it was normal. Right. And then all of a sudden, they did away with it. So let's look at this article. Let's see, Illinois. So we had this in Washington. They have got rid of it. I did some research on it. I wouldn't get too excited about it, guys. I don't think it's going to go anywhere. There's been some people freaking out about it a little bit. But like I say, just like a lot of stuff, it's the knee-jerk reaction. But here we go. Here's a little deal. Illinois considering new license requirement, and it's tiered. I'm just going to brief over this, guys. The subject of tiered licensing, and it has led to some discussions, some lively discussions I've seen on some different forums and things like that. And of course, we all have an opinion about it. It has been used in other countries where you get a different license for depending on the size of your motorcycle, and really didn't catch on in the U.S. However, I will tell you, yes, Washington State did have it. So, and that was back some time ago. There are some studies out there, guys, that have shown that little effect on crashes were implemented. And I think, Oscar, from going through some of this stuff, is I think one of the arguments is somehow this helps reduce collisions and motorcycle injuries and things like that. Because if you're only on a 250 and then you jump on a Harley, which is 1590, 103 is 15
16
or sorry, yeah, 16
something.
Yeah, 1690 or 53, I don't remember, but that you're not going to be able to handle it. So
that's retarded. I mean, that's just ridiculous, because my Magna 750 would smoke my Harley, and it was 400-pound V4. I mean, it was super fast, and it was just lighter. I mean, so maybe it reduces tip overs,
right?
Because you're too small to handle a 900-pound Harley touring bike. But what is it? It's not CBR. The Nighthawk. Honda make a 250 in the Nighthawk.
Ooh,
they made a 250 in a couple of sport bikes. They were scary fast. So yeah, maybe you'll tip over or not tip over because it's a lighter bike, but you're riding on two wheels. The things that make you crash are drinking, going too fast, and other people.
Right.
So two wheels is two wheels, really. I mean,
yeah, and they have done some studies. I think that's why we got rid of it, because you really couldn't prove that it was helping with anything. And it is an effect in different countries. And we'd like to hear from you, all our listeners from around the world. Let us know if it's in effect where you live. I'd really like to know and get that information out there. But, it changes all the time depending on politicians, who are in office and want to appear to be safety minded. Now, some of those studies, I would agree. I think mostly it has to do not with the size of the bike, but age and experience.
right.
What say you?
I mean, sure, maybe you make someone 16 to 18 ride a smaller bike. I don't know. Right. But the size of the bike in the end, I don't know how much it really matters. I mean,
Right.
sure, a 400-pound bike's easier to maneuver than a 900-pound bike. But in the end, I don't know that it really matters.
You're going to get the experience on a smaller bike if you want to start that way. And then when you're ready to move up, you're ready to move up.
Sure.
I don't know that. And like I say, I don't think that anybody has ever been able to put together any hard stats that this somehow is safer. So
I always bought whenever I took mine, I remember now, I don't know, I got my first motorcycle in college, and I just took, it was a 700, and I just took whatever the highest one was and just stayed with that, because I'm like, I can always ride a smaller bike. Why would I be limited?
right.
No one asked me otherwise. They're like, all right, whatever one you want. So that's a fatal flaw anyway there. So
I agree. Hey, do you have the bottle opener over there?
yes,
Well, I'm trying to open this bottle.
of your
Oh, you're hiding it.
your apple juice.
Jerk off. All right.
hey.
So I'm reading an article here.
Was that an order or
No. Thank you for the bottle opener though. We are drinking Corona here tonight.
It's delicious.
And no, they don't sponsor us either, but they should. So
We sponsored them.
usually it's PBR, but we had a wonderful dinner, and my wife made fish tacos.
Oh, they were
and,
delicious.
and I figured we had to have Corona for that. So we're looking at a article, and of course it all came up because Illinois, for some reason, apparently is behind the times, and they're all of a sudden thinking this is a good idea. So they say, the article says that, these people say some students rush out and buy a monster racing bike that can go 140 miles an hour. They can't handle it. Here's what I say right off the bat of that. But if they go and they buy the race bike, as long as they test on it, it really doesn't matter.
No.
You can go test on a bike that goes 140 miles an hour, and you can go out and get killed the first day because you frickin' ride it like an idiot.
And how about,
I don't know, what does licensing have to do with that?
Well, yeah, because it goes 140 doesn't mean you have to go 140, because you can't go 140 safely anywhere except for a racetrack.
Right.
So you don't have to turn the throttle all the way. And yeah, that's just silly.
I think there's money in this, and I see these guys, look at these yahoos.
Yeah, right.
Okay. Now we're looking at a picture here, guys. There's two guys, and this is very typical about people that instruct these motorcycle safety. I'm not talking bad about all these. Trust me, there are some good instructors, but we have some yahoos around here. It's like, I'm not going to learn to ride a motorcycle from you. Okay. You aren't even in shape enough to ride a motorcycle, let alone you're not going to teach me. And where is your experience? And
Right.
so I just, there is a lot of money in this private industry of instructing motorcycle, and every state has different requirements for what you need to be an instructor. And I'm sorry. I've just come across a lot of lousy ones that I've seen. I never did take any of those classes. When I started, they really weren't around.
No, right. My wife took one because she thought she wanted to ride, and it was a good experience for her because she realized in the end, oh, I just want to sit on the back seat, which I'm glad she did.
Right.
Because we would have totally bought her a bike if she loved it, but she didn't. So, that's a good thing, but it's not required here. But for her, it was a good idea because versus buying her a bike and letting her ride around and then taking the test would have been a waste of time and a lot more money buying a bike than just taking the class and using their bikes.
Right. And I agree. It's a good thing. I don't think it can hurt. For the most part, especially somebody without any experience and stuff like that.
Total novice.
Right. Just to get, and a lot of those, these private people that are teaching motorcycle skills, they have the motorcycles for you.
Yeah. And they were using like little
50s.
Well,
whatever.
They were like, PW200.
Right.
Those Yamaha dual sports or whatever. And they had some little, Honda 250s and stuff. I'm like, well, that's fine.
Yeah. And the last time I took the test, I was on a wide glide with 16-inch apes and I passed it. And there's people on little
sitting on the phone.
I'm not saying I'm the greatest rider, dude, but there's people on little, like almost scooters and you're like, they're failing, dude. I'm like, seriously. And I got these big apes, dude. The test is not that hard, but if you've never ridden, I grew up kind of riding, neighbors' motorcycles and stuff. So, maybe that had something to do with it, but anyways, they're saying, that, these people, and again, so the motorcycle can go 140. As long as you test with that motorcycle, you can still go out and do 140 and kill yourself. So I don't get that little statement there, but motorcycles keep getting bigger, says this guy. He's a safety class administrator. They're higher risk, much heavier and more powerful. If you've never ridden and you're bringing in a big, heavy motorcycle, it's very difficult. But what does that have to do with licensing? As long as you can pass the test, right?
And it just goes to show that anyone can have a title.
Right.
It's important to have a title.
Scott here can have a title.
You can be a safety class.
And he can wear a fluorescent green shirt and a boonie hat.
Yeah.
With not only the boonie hat, but he has the thing down the back. You see this?
Oh, right.
Right.
I don't know what that is. But
then you've got this other guy here with the thing on his side so he can keep his notepad.
Right. Because taking notes is important.
Right. I don't know. But the chick on the motorcycle's hot.
That is definitely worth the picture.
She's hot.
She is. Very nice looking. She looks smart.
She does.
Yeah.
That's a little bike.
And she's on 230M, whatever that means.
On her headlight.
Yeah. That's her headlight, right.
So, so let's dive a little bit deeper in this article. So yet to get a motorcycle classification on a driver's license in Illinois, students don't have to use one of the students don't have to use one of the bigger bikes to take the driving test. They can test on a smaller motorcycle, then go out and ride whatever they want. And that's how it is here now too. And like I say, I think the company here that, like I said, okay, I'm not going to say anything about it. Anyways, the company here, they have motorcycles and they're really small motorcycles. And I think they provide those, but you can go take the test. Like I said, there was guys taking the test on a really small bike. They would borrow it.
Right.
And so like 4 guys would use the same bike because they were all friends just so they could pass the test and then they'd go jump on there.
In fact, my buddy did that.
Did he?
Yeah. I had another buddy had a little 500 or Honda 500 and called him up. Hey, can we borrow your bike? Yep. And he did. And the test was pretty easy on a little tiny bike like that.
Right.
And why not?
Yeah. And more power to him for doing that. I just, with the tiered thing, I guess I'm not saying that I'm totally against it. There is no data on it. And Washington and other states have had it forever in other countries. Just show me some hard stats that somehow, it has substantially reduced motorcycle collisions or safety. And I think that's the whole key is nobody's can put that information out. And so therefore states got rid of it because why it wasn't productive, I don't know.
Well, and the correlation between the cubic centimeters, which is metric, or cubic inches for standard for us Americans, the correlation between the size of the motor and what the bike can do, or there is no correlation. So you can have a sport bike with a 600cc motor that goes way faster than any of the big bore Harleys. They're just lighter. They're heavy. So what this guy
there you. I love having you in here, dude. I didn't even think of it.
That guy's saying, "Oh, these big bikes my bike is not that fast." It's big, it's heavy, it's comfortable for long rides, but CBR.
You can get way more trouble with that.
Oh, dude,
it pulls the wheel. Our bikes don't pull the wheel off the
Not
ground.
even close. And that's CBR 1000 or whatever. My Magna 1100 would do 160, and it only weighed like 400 pounds. It was 1100 cc. So my 750 cc, it'd do 140. But smoke my 103 cubic inch Harley. Our bikes are just big and heavy, and they're harder to handle because they're heavy. It has nothing to do with the motor. So maybe if they went to a weight class.
Oh, dude, see, they need people like you in the legislature, dude.
I'm not smart enough to go there.
Man, but seriously, all jokes aside, I sent you the notes a week ago, but we'd never discussed any of this. We usually just get in the studio here, guys, and we both have the show notes. What kind of show notes do I do?
Copious.
Thank you, Oscar. I do copious show notes, and I send them to the guys, but we don't never sit down because that would be defeating the purpose. We just sit down in here and then we just go at it. And that's what's great. New ideas like that. You're absolutely right. It didn't even make the correlation that, really doesn't matter. It's more about weight than power. Because when some of those little bikes can go like a bat out of hell.
Oh, yeah. That's why they're fun, because they're small and light and really fast.
Right. And get into a lot of trouble with those. So here we go. Knee-jerk reaction, guys. And this is what I'm talking about with government oftentimes.
No way.
And I do work for them, but they have many, many flaws. But here you go. The proposal comes as motorcycle fatalities in Illinois have hovered near historic high levels for the past 3 years and rose slightly last year despite a rare nationwide decrease. So here they go. They're getting heat on them. They got to do something. They start looking at ridiculous things like this instead of valid things, like just maybe some better safety courses or maybe a little tougher motorcycle course for licensing. I don't know. But
and how about motorcycle fatalities and injury collisions are high because a whole bunch of people are riding now. A lot more. And we were talking about this. I was talking about something the other day. I'm like, there's people on bikes everywhere. And we've had a lot of bike wrecks here. Kind of, you read about it in the newspaper and go, oh man, not another bike wreck. But there, it used to be, I'd see a bike on the road with me somewhere during the day. I'm seeing 50 bikes a day and a lot of female riders, which is great. But the more bikes that are on the road, the more bike crashes there are going to be. It's a simple statistical function.
They're going to go up.
Right. You have to. There's more bikes. There's more collisions. It's the nature of the beast.
I agree. Now, here's another interesting fact. But as state lawmakers in Illinois and biker groups continue to resist a mandatory helmet law, so they don't have a helmet law. So there you go. Illinois is among just 3 states without one. Is there only 3 states now?
We've been through 2 of them.
Yeah.
Idaho, Montana, and Illinois, apparently.
I thought there were more than that.
I did too.
So safety advocates and regulators are looking to other ways to reduce the death count. I think you've got better ways at this point. Yeah. And we won't even get on the subject. We're going to have to do an episode on that.
All right.
We've never done an episode on the helmet law. I mean, we ride without them when we go in state. Sometimes I'm not going to lie to you.
Except for the freeway where it's way more dangerous.
Right. Oh, we did go over that. That's right. A little bit.
Yeah, we did. That was awesome.
So Mochinsky. Yeah, whatever his name is. For one, supports the idea of requiring those who want to ride bigger bikes to hold a special license. And I'm going to put in parentheses, this is not in the article, guys, because I own a company and I want to make lots of money and have people take special classes,
right,
and have to pay special money for special classes. And then when they want to move up to the next bike because they're bored of their smaller bike, then they have to come through my class again, pay me more money when I really don't ride anymore.
And
sorry, that was not in the article, guys.
What kind of course would you have for let's say a Sportster 883 versus a Harley Street Glide?
That's what I'm saying.
It'd be the same course.
It's the same.
But it'd cost $50 more because you weigh more.
Right. So he worries, though, of course he worries.
Of course he does.
About the expenses involved in offering the state-sponsored safety class on such cycles. He's worried about it. He is one of the instructors of the free safety course. See, okay, so it's different over there. So I apologize, guys. Apparently, it's free over there. Here, we got these private companies that get in and get a state license, and then they teach you.
They do.
And some of them don't really have that much experience, but they get the license. Yeah. The idiot offers. That's what it says. The IDOT. idiot. No, not idiot.
Whoa. Have you been reading long?
Yeah. Illinois Department of Transportation offers around the state a program with a $5 million budget paid for. Wow. So their state pays for it and through motorcycle registration fees. Interesting.
And I promise that our host has more than 5th grade education.
6th.
Nice.
Yep.
Nice.
Those courses typically use 200 or 250cc bikes because they're easier and safer for beginners to handle and typically cost thousands of dollars less. Okay, there you go.
Good enough.
So this apparently Illinois also offers an advanced course for bigger motorcycles, but beginning students rarely take it. Officials are looking to other states for guidance. Utah, for instance, here we go, divides motorcyclists into 4 classes depending on the size of the driver tests on. Those who test on a larger bike may ride any size, but such restrictions appear to be the exception, judging by state listings by the AAA Motor Club.
Well, that's how it was here. If you took I think it was 750 and over,
then you're golden.
Then you could ride anything you wanted.
Right. I do. Yeah. Remember that. So the Motorcycle Riders Group, here's a bait of Illinois, opposes it. Of course, President Bruce Leib said the proposal sounds sensible, but motorcycles have many variables other than engine size. Here you go, that affect their handling, such as weight and design.
No way.
There you go.
Wow.
A sport bike can easily outperform a touring bike that's twice the size, which he said could render engine size comparisons, quote, useless.
No way.
He's thinking like you, buddy.
Jeez. Genius.
Let's see. Motorcycle deaths in Illinois actually dropped slightly from 50 last year to 40 this year through July 3rd, according to the state's count. The main reason for that, advocates say, is the weather, as an exceptionally rainy June probably kept many riders off the roads. Since that date, several more deadly crashes. So they're just having a lot of crashes over there, which is why we're getting all that. So anyways, I'm not going to read the rest.
No, wait.
Oh, yeah, go ahead.
Go to,
Tell me when to stop.
right there. Hold on.
Go ahead.
I got to read this.
Yeah.
Well, let me read it first.
Go on. Oh, you're reading it first.
No.
Okay.
Motorcyclists blame automobile drivers for many of the crashes, calling them cagers because they drive in a cage that creates blind spots and restricts their awareness. No way. You mean cars hit bikes and cause injuries and deaths? That never happens.
Apparently a light bulb just went off. So yeah, guys. So, and this article goes on and on, but I'll put this information or link to it in the show notes, lawabidingbiker.com/ whatever episode number this is going to be. But from reading it and reading it a little bit before the show, there really is no hard data on that this reduces any type of injuries or fatality collisions. So until they come out with that, I say screw it.
Well, and what do we have now?
Down.
We have 2 wheels or 3 wheels.
Yes.
I don't know why that's important, but
well, 3 wheels is different. 3-wheelers, you can tip them and stuff.
Yeah.
So maybe a different skills course or something. I don't know.
Could be.
But all right, guys, enough on the tiered licensing. Let's move on to a web comment here. You want to handle this one?
Certainly. Charlie of Flint, Michigan. He references episodes number 18, lawabidingbiker.com/18.
And he left a comment right on the website. And this is the particular blog that he left it on.
It says, hey guys, I'm new to your podcast, so I've been listening to some older ones. I'm really enjoying the show. In a past podcast, you did a product review of Hypercool cooling vest. I've found them on Amazon, but I was looking for a link through your website so you get a kickback. I can't seem to find it on your site. Can you provide me the info? If not, I'll just order one through Amazon. P.S. I have MS and the heat really bothers me. When I heard your podcast on the Hypercool and how I'm laughing because our host is moving the
I did scroll
screen while I'm reading and it's going to make me
pass dizzy
out a little bit. When I heard your podcast on the Hypercool and how cheap it is and that you guys gave it a 4.25 stars, I wanted to have one. Due to the heat and muggy days, it tends to keep me indoors in the AC instead of out on the road with my friends where I prefer to be. Amen to that. I think this might be the answer I've been looking for. I've found some other ones, but they're pretty expensive. Keep up the good work on the podcast and the videos. You can use our affiliate link, lawabidingbiker.com/Amazon, or you can go to the affiliate banner page, lawabidingbiker.com affiliate links.
Yep, /affiliate links.
Yep, /affiliate links to find that stuff.
So if you guys ever forget what, lawabidingbiker, most of the time it's easy, lawabidingbiker.com /Amazon /Audible whatever it is. But you can always go to /affiliate links and we have a full page with the pictures, of course, of each banner. And you can click through on those and we get a small commission and return it. No extra cost to you. There you go. We've talked about that. The title of that episode was Keeping Your Cool at All Times.
You guys used those last year, didn't you?
I do not have one.
Popeye
and LD and Sarge has one. Jeff?
I've never used one.
I'm going to get one. Lurch talked about it. In fact, just yesterday we were talking about it. We asked LD, but he did not bring it. He got out of the house and it was 100 plus yesterday, guys, on our 650 mile ride. And definitely those things are awesome. I don't know why. I've got so much stuff going on. I just haven't ordered one, but I really need to order one.
I've never used one. I mean, I'm so freaking cool as it is that,
oh geez.
Can I get something out of that, please?
Oh geez.
Some clapping or
no.
Oh dude. Come on.
How about this?
All right. That was pretty fitting. That was fitting.
So that was a web comment. Don't forget, guys, you can go straight to the website and leave comments on the different podcast episodes or blogs. Why don't you dive into this one, buddy? We're going to dive a little bit deeper into the email. We've got a little time left. Dive right into the email bag.
Tom Henderson of White River Junction, Vermont. Tom says, you seem to explain things real well. I have a 2014 Limited with the HD Street Cannon, stage 1 download and ventilator air. And I think he's probably talking about the ventilator air intake kit. I get a lot of decel popping when downshifting in third and second gear, about 1,850 to 2,300 RPMs. I've had the dealer check for leaks and they could not find any. I also use copper silicone and still pops. I see you changed your pipes and was wondering if you had the same issue. The dealer says this is a normal condition. Others tell me to buy a tuner and tune it out. Also, before the street cannons, I had 4-inch Reinhardt's exhaust and they did not decel pop. Would you know why? What are your thoughts? Maybe the street cannons is a common thing. You have the Vance and Hines, and I was thinking of swapping to them.
So here's my response. I'm not going to read it to you guys. I've just got some notes here, but did you look at these?
I did.
Okay. And so why don't you just, whether you agree with me or not, this is what I gave him back, and interject a little bit there on how you'd answer this over, right here in the podcast, how you'd answer this. I did it via email, but how would you do it audibly?
The decel popping is a condition caused when the air fuel mixture is too lean and you have too much free flow. So you're actually sucking in, or you're sucking through the intake into the exhaust valve, or through the exhaust valve. You're sucking an air fuel mixture, which explodes in the pipe. And when I say explode, I mean it.
Oh, geez.
It's true. It
Dude,
explodes in the pipe.
You've used sucking in the same sentence 4 times. Go ahead.
Dang it, I can't think of a better word. So you get some air fuel mixture that explodes in the exhaust, and that's what causes the popping. And the general way to get rid of that is to add more fuel, which cools everything a little bit. So some exhaust with some intake, if it's real free flowing, you can actually, when the intake valve opens, or when the exhaust valve opens, it sucks out through the exhaust, pulls out through the, dang it, pulls out. Anyway, it will do, some exhausts will do it and some it won't. Your dealer can go in and that's usually at the 0 throttle or 0% throttle. So they can add some fuel to the 0% throttle cells, which will cool things off just a little bit and it'll take care of that. I had the same problem with my D&D Fat Cat, with my power.
Did?
Yeah, I did. And it's loud sometimes. And so I've had to go in on a couple of occasions, and as it gets hotter, it gets worse. And I've gone in a couple of occasions and added some fuel in the 0% column, and it makes it better.
Are you talking about on your Power Commander 5?
Yes.
You're going in the settings?
I'm going in the settings into the fuel cells for cylinder 1 and 2 and actually adding fuel in the 0% column if you have a Power Commander. If you've got a race tuner, the Super Tuner is a little more complicated, but if you have a race tuner, which is the Harley kind of version,
it's the Screaming Eagle.
A Screaming Eagle race tuner.
Yeah.
You can actually go in and add fuel in certain places. So some exhausts, like True Duals, will do that more than others, and some.
And True Duals, you mean?
There's a pipe for each head.
Coming out. So
right.
Oscar's Fat Cat just goes. It's a 2-into-1.
It's a 2-into-1.
So but one out of each head. I'm just explaining it for the other. So one out of each head, and then into one pipe where I have one out of each head, and then they are individual, and they will come out each side of the rear of the bike.
Well, for the True Duals, but like your bike,
mine chambers.
It meets.
Yeah,
your bike's basically a 2-into-1.
Yes, you're right. It's a 2-into-1 into 2.
So if you like the exhaust that you have, I mean, every bike's a little different. If you like the exhaust you have, my advice would be go to your dealer and tell them, look, it is common with stock Harleys with just mufflers, because Harley runs their bikes really lean to meet emission standards. So they're already making it lean, and when it gets hot, it gets even leaner. So you can go in and, if you can find someone with a dyno or whatever, go to your dealer and say, hey, can you add fuel? And I had that same problem with my 06. I had Screaming Eagle exhaust on it with a stage 1 intake, and it was popping real bad. And so I went in and said, hey, can you guys just add some fuel? Usually at the 0% column, it's usually when you're shifting, you let go of the throttle, or when you're decel, you let go of the throttle, you shift down, and you let the clutch out. So that's usually where it is. Most places that have a dyno can do that for you, or you can buy a race tuner or power commander or whatever and do it yourself, or have someone do it. Doesn't matter. I noticed that actually with my 06 Ultra Classic, and I put cams in it, and I couldn't find a map on my race tuner to match the cams with the 88. So I used the map for the 95. So it was dumping fuel in an 88-inch motor, and it thought it was a 95, and the decel all went away because it was dumping a whole bunch of fuel in there.
And let me just make sure I understand this right. I always thought it's because it's popping because there's too much fuel in there, and so you get that explosion.
No.
It's
It's popping because the lean condition makes the cylinders really hot.
okay.
So the leaner it is, and so we haven't really talked about that engine idle temperature management system that the Harleys have.
We have in past episodes
A little bit.
I'm actually going to do we need a video on it and everything. So
Right.
yes.
So that works by shutting off the spark to the rear cylinder and just dumping fuel in, which cools the rear cylinder, right?
Well, it pumps air. From what I've read,
right.
Basically it shuts the cylinder down, and then that cylinder turns into nothing, and it just starts pumping
It
air
pumps
over
air
the other head.
Right. And I think it pumps, maybe I'll have to look. Either way, the lean condition makes everything really hot, and it makes the exhaust valves really hot. So there's some overlap with the intake and exhaust. So you always pull a little bit of air fuel mixture through the exhaust, or out the exhaust valve into the exhaust. And when you do that and it's really, really, really hot, that air fuel mixture will detonate. If you add more fuel, it cools everything off. And so by cooling it off,
See, that's so weird. Yeah.
it is. But if you think about it, if you dump fuel in there when it's really hot, not all the fuel burns, and it's a liquid.
Right.
So it cools things down. So there's lots of options. Your dealer can do it. They can hook your bike up on a dyno and find out where it's doing it. You already know, which is cool. You're paying attention to that stuff. You can try a different exhaust. When we talk about Ryan's bike with different exhausts, it's totally different. So the True Duals versus what the 14 Street Glide has with it's basically a 2-into-1. It's a 2-into-1 into 2. So the two head pipes meet in the middle into one chamber, and then they split off again.
So hold that for a second. Keep right there. I want you to pick back up. What Oscar's referencing is, so my 2011 Street Glide, I had True Duals. It was two pipes, and they never connected, and they both went to the rear of the bike. On my 2014 Street Glide, I have Vance and Hines twin/rounds, and it goes two into a chamber and then back into two. So this is kind of one of the responses I sent him. So I just want to put that in for reference.
See, that's why you're the host. So
there you go.
I get to talking about this crap,
Right.
and I can't. I don't forget. I forget that sometimes
I love it. You get all
I get all excited.
Oh, you do. I love it.
So comparing you have to compare the same bikes with the same exhaust. But anyway, so you can have that tuned out. All they need to do is add more fuel. You can try different mufflers if you want. You can try different heads. The cheapest thing is to just go plug it in at your dealership and say, hey, I heard I should probably add more fuel in the 0% column. I think Harley still use a map, which is manifold air pressure, as a measure of throttle position. I'm not sure. The throttle by wire may be different. So but anyway, you tell them, hey, I heard I just need more fuel in the 0% column, or at 0% throttle I would probably go 1800 to 3500, and you'll be in good shape. I wouldn't go anything below that, because it'll mess with your idle a little bit, and they won't do that. And that'll take care of it. Just add a little bit more fuel. Or if you want to go the more expensive route and try different exhaust, you can. But my D&D, it pops. It pops when I shift. Sometimes when I shift at 35, 4,000 RPMs and let off the throttle, it'll pop. And it's just a lean condition, and it generally doesn't hurt anything. It's just kind of obnoxious.
That was going to be one of my questions. Because I can get mine to pop. I know how to do it.
Right.
If you rev it and do the little throttle a lot and then let it back off real quick,
Right. Yeah. Because more air is moving through the motor.
Right. And it doesn't hurt anything.
Not generally. If you're getting popping all the time, then it's too lean and there's a problem. But if everything is generally stock on your bike, it's fine. Just if the popping annoys you, and it did me, then you can add more fuel, but it's not going to hurt anything.
Very, very good. Awesome answer. And that's why we love guys having Oscar in the studio. I love all the guys. Of course, everybody brings a little something different to the table. And of course, when it comes to motorcycle questions, that's why I threw a lot of these emails in there. I got Oscar for the night, and we're going to crank out a couple episodes. And by golly, I'm going to make sure and throw those kind of questions at him. So, all right, guys, that about wraps it up. Thanks for tuning in. And the only thing we had is a couple more emails. We'll get them on another episode. Make sure you tune in next time. We've got some awesome stuff coming up for the next episode. As you know, guys, let's see, what do I want to do? Call to action, guys. Call to action. Head over, make sure you get the Law Abiding Biker app. You can call in right from the app. You get content first. You get the podcast sometimes 5 days before everybody else. lawabidingbiker.com/app. You can get it on Amazon. You can get it on iTunes. There you go. Just lawabidingbiker.com app. It tells you exactly what you need to do to get it. Don't forget to use that B&H photo video affiliate link, lawabidingbiker.com/B&H. Guys, I'm telling you, better deals than Amazon most of the time, mostly where I get all my video and electronics and all kinds of stuff. Awesome customer service, and we are hooked up with them. Lab Podcast phone number 509-731-3548. That's the listener hotline. You can also leave a voicemail right from your computer/voicemail. Lab t-shirts, guys, I'm working on them. I know I've emailed some of you very loyal listeners that have really, really supported us over time since the beginning. I'm getting the new design. I'm getting the new graphics all lined out. So be patient with me. It is in the works. I got the guy drawing it up. It's going to be absolutely awesome. And for those of you that I've contacted, of course, and there's still some others that I need to contact. I haven't yet. But those t-shirts are in the works, and y'all are going to get a t-shirt. And all of you that leave voicemails that are aired on the show and used for content purposes, I'm going to get a bunch of extra t-shirts. I'm going to start sending those out to you guys that leave us awesome voicemails. So don't forget to get in the email club, lawabidingbiker.com/email club. There you go, guys. Rate us. Please go to iTunes. It helps us. Rate us, lawabidingbiker.com/iTunes and/Stitcher Radio. You guys are awesome. Yep. Any last words there, Oscar, before we check out here?
Live free, ride hard.
There you go. What are you doing, freaking bikeaholics? Get out there and ride, huh? We're out. Keep the rubber side down.
The flat black side up.
Hope it was informational. Hope it was entertaining.
Infotational.
Infotaining.
Oh, yeah.